Okay, hello again. This is Majestic's Q400. Beautiful airplane that it is, and today I'm gonna take it for a test flight with, for the first time, with a voice first officer. I'm really excited about that. I know very little about turboprops, and having a voice first officer to help me out is going to be fantastic. As you will be able to see, the cockpit is actually in a completely cold and dark status. Now, when you fire up the Majestic Q400, it comes in a, well, what you could call a warm cockpit. It's got some electrical power, the screens are on, etc, etc. MCE comes with a script already made, in which you simply call reset cockpit to cold and dark, and your first officer will do it, which is a terrific idea. So as you can see, that's exactly what I've done, and my trusty first officer has put everything to that status. So we are ready to go. So I will ask my FO to power up the aircraft, and he will go through and go through the overhead panel with all of the electricals, and what he'll do is set up the electricals, set up the hydraulics, the hydraulic pumps, the fuel pumps, the controls, the control lever, locks, the condition levers, etc, etc. He can turn on the ARCDUs, and he can also power them up, set radios for us, transponders, change headings to whatever value we ask him, set altitude. It really is terrific. Set up generators, external power, air conditioning packs. He can also do the testing of the ELT and the DFDR, as well as the emergency lights. It really is a terrific package, and I think they've outdone themselves. Aircraft power up with APU.
Okay, power up with APU. Parking brake set. Main battery on. Aux battery on. Standby battery on. Main bus tie on. Master battery available now. Standby. Hydraulic pump switched off. Hydraulic power transfer deactivated. Navigation lights on as per command. APU. The start switch on. Connecting APU generator. DC generator 1 selected on. DC generator 2 engaged. De-ice mode select off. Engine intake doors close. Reference speed switch off. Pitot heat off. Propeller de-icing off. Air de-icing normal. Window heat selected off. Windshield wipers switched to off as per command. Side window heat off. Performing voice recorder test. ELT arm. Fire detection. Smoke detectors. Tested. Engine 1 ignition 2 normal. Engine 2 ignition 2 normal. Start selector off. Pressurization mode selector is set to auto. Sorry, failed to identify current airport. No slewing is possible. Lights off. Beacon lights switched off. Navigation lights on. Logo lights selected off. Emergency lights armed. Fasten seatbelt signs on. No smoking signs on as per command. Checking lights. Air compact, all, auto. Recirculating fan 1 switched on. All air bleed valves selected off. Air bleed mode is set to low. Generator 1, 2, on. Ground power unit disconnected. APU bleed air on as per command. ARCDU mode set. ARCDU mode set. Master caution button pressed. Will do, Cap. Power up with APU completed.
Okay, as we can see, the first officer has set up the aircraft nicely. Now we just turn on the FMC and we're going to give it a route and start programming fly. And this is just about ready for us to start boarding, so we're going to skip through that so we can continue on just showing the interaction of the first officer with us. Run the stall warning tests, etc, etc. We'll do the flight deck safety checklist and then we'll just go straight to the before start flow. Now with the next flows, with before start, the first officer will set up the power, make sure that power is set as needed, APU turned off, beacon lights get turned on, and he's ready to go. Then the next step is obviously turning on the engines. He can do the job himself. If I ask him to turn on engine 2, you'll see the condition lever for engine 2 move to start and feather, and he will action all the items from start, or you can follow the procedure and do the start yourself with him, and he will monitor the items and tell you if there is anything lit up on the lights display, the emergency lights display. Warning lights, that is. That was the word I needed. So yeah, anyway, we will follow through with the before start checklist and we'll go from there. Flight deck safety checklist.
Want to initiate the checklist? Okay, Captain. Flight deck safety checklist. Batteries
on and checked.
Main bus tie. DC external power
on.
Is the item really as you stated?
Oops. Off. Skip this item.
Yep, I'll jump to the next item. APU
on.
Battery temperatures
checked.
Bus voltage
checked.
Safety equipment
checked.
Landing gear lights and pins
check 3.
Engine intake doors
green.
Circuit breakers
checked in.
Alternate gear door inhibit switch
normal.
Fire and smoke detection
tested.
Bleed air 1 and 2
off.
APU bleed
on.
Recirculating fan
on.
Pressurization
set and checked.
Air conditioning packs
checked.
Emergency lights
armed.
Fuel transfer
off.
Fuel quantity
checked.
Parking brake
on.
Power levers
disconnect.
Condition levers
fuel off.
Nose steering
off.
Double check this, Captain.
Off.
FMS
set.
Takeoff and departure briefing
complete.
Flight deck safety checklist complete.
Set flight level 200.
Setting flight level 200.
Set com 122.8.
Affirmative, com 122.8.
Squawk Charlie 4176.
Yep, transponder 4176.
Before start flow.
Roger. Before start flow. Master battery active now. Main battery on. Aux battery on. Standby battery on. Beacon lights selected on. APU bleed off. Ready for engine start.
Start engine number 2.
Okay. Start switch engaged. Engine 2. The start switch. Engine 2 switched on.
We can see the first officer is progressing with the startup of our engine number 2.
Starter cutout. Engine 2.
Start engine 1.
Starting engine number 1. The start switch. Engine 1 switched on.
We've skipped a couple of the checklists to reach to this point, so we'll go straight to the after start procedure, where our first officer will release the control locks, set the condition levers to 900 RPM, set the engine bleeds, turn off the APU, pitot heat, window heat, turn it all on, turn the radar to standby, auto feather, set the engine rating, set the fuel pumps, standby hydraulic pumps, the bleed modes, yaw dampers, anti-skids, and he will do the flight control check with us monitoring. So this is pretty good, so we'll go with that next. After start procedure.
After start low. Both propeller lever is set to 900 RPM. All air bleed valves selected on. APU bleed air off, disconnecting. APU generator. APU off as per command. Main bus tie off, pitot heat switched on. Window heat selected on. Nose, wheel, steering active now. Weather radar is set to standby. MFD1 mode is set to nav. Auto feather engine rated to normal takeoff. Fuel pump 1 selected on. Fuel pump 2 active now. Standby. Hydraulic pump switched on. Hydraulic power transfer engaged. Air bleed mode is set to normal. Yaw damper on as per command. Anti-skid active now. Ready for the flight control check. Control wheel right, aileron up, left, aileron down. Control stick left, aileron up, right, aileron down. Control wheel centered. Elevator up. Elevator down. Elevator pitch centered. Rudder all deflection right. Rudder all deflection left. Rudder centered. Flight controls checked for free movement cap.
After start checklist.
Yep, the checklist is coming. After start checklist. External power.
Off.
APU.
Off.
Main bus tie.
Off.
Electrical panels.
Checked.
Condition levers.
900 RPM. 900 RPM. Max.
Auto feather.
On.
Fuel pumps.
On.
Hydraulics.
Checked.
Flaps.
Set.
V speeds.
Checked.
Rudder.
Full travel.
Nose. Steering.
On.
PFD. Engine display.
Checked.
Lead mode.
On.
Double check
Minimum.
this, Captain.
Normal.
Now set. De-ice. Pressure. This is not a motor race. Think hard before you reply.
Checked.
Ice protection.
Test and set.
Transponder.
On.
Please check status for that item again.
Standby.
Double checked. Standby. Although what checklist states is different. It's supposed to be on after start. Checklist complete.
Okay, that's something you need to check. That checklist, we can't have the transponder on just yet. But apart from that, we've got absolutely everything done. So we're ready to go and start taxiing this little beast. Release parking brake.
Sure. Parking brake released.
Before takeoff procedure.
Performing before takeoff low. Transponder auto. Both propeller lever is set to maximum RPM before takeoff done with.
Okay, we're about to go. Now we'll go with it before takeoff checklist, and after that we'll do a lineup procedure where first officer will set us ready to go. Before takeoff checklist.
Get ready. Checklist is about to start. Before takeoff checklist. Brakes.
Checked.
Takeoff warning.
Tested.
Takeoff power.
Set.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Flight controls.
Full travel.
Yaw damper.
On.
Clearance.
Reviewed.
Cabin.
Secured. Secured.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Departure runway is 21.
Runway 21.
Line up procedure.
Roger. Line up low. Air bleed mode is set to low. Strobe lights selected on. Landing lights switched on. Ready for takeoff, Captain.
Takeoff V1 is 106.
Confirm V1106.
Yes.
Thank you.
Takeoff VR is 116.
Confirm VR116.
Yes.
Cheers.
Takeoff V2 is 130.
Confirm V2130.
Yes.
Cheers.
Would actually help if I set the altimeter correctly.
80 knots. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear coming up. Gear up and locked.
Flaps up.
Yeah, flaps coming up. Flaps. I do confirm, Captain.
Climb procedures.
Okay, performing. Climb low. Both propeller lever is set to 900 RPM. Engine rated to max. Fuel pump 1. Disengaged. Fuel pump 2. Switched off. Disarm. Auto feather standby. Hydraulic pump off. Hydraulic power transfer discarded. All air bleed valves on as per command. Air bleed mode is set to normal. Taxi. Lights selected off. Climb procedure completed.
Landing lights off.
Landing lights switched off.
Okay, and that is that. We are now on our climb. Next is the after takeoff checklist, and our first officer makes everything so simple. I actually had no idea you would do some of the stuff that my first officer just did, but anyway, there you have it. It is fantastic add-on as usual, and I think it's the only voice add-on that will work, that will give you a virtual first officer in the Majestic Q400 for FSX, the pilot edition. This is yeah, terrific add-on. It makes flying this thing feel so much more realistic. And as always with MCE, all the procedures and all the flows you can change yourself. The ones that I've just gone through are abbreviated version of the flows that come with the Q400, which were courtesy of a real-life partner, I believe. But you know, if you have a virtual airline that has its own procedures, you can create your own, write them up, and your first officer will do them. If you have a set checklist that you would like to use, again, put it in, and your first officer will read it and will monitor the items. This is a lot of fun, and it makes the flying experience feel all the more realistic. So cheerio for now, and that was an absolute pleasure.